Oh,
Yep, it's recording.
hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. In today's career development workshop is being promoted by the Long Branch Free Public Library. My name is Mariela Osario. I am the Career and Small Business Services Assistant at the Long Branch Public Library. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. We are fortunate to have Amy Lombardo, who will be presenting Get Hired, Strategies and Resources for College Graduates or Soon to Graduate. Now, before we begin, I do want to let everyone know that today's presentation is being recorded to share with those unable to attend and for future archive. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you Amy Lombardo. One moment, please. Bear with me 1 second. Amy Lombardo is a school counselor at the Middlesex County Vocational and Technical Schools. She holds a master's degree in education and school counseling from Monmouth University and a bachelor's degree in psychology from Stockton University. She has been a school counselor for the past 10 years, working with diverse students. Amy has assisted students with their post-secondary plans and with their social and emotional well-being. During her undergraduate studies, she worked at the Career Center, helping students with their resume writing and interview skills. Amy also volunteers her time with Braven as a professional mentor, assisting recent college graduates seeking employment, job networking, resume writing, and soft skills. She is currently obtaining her certification in life coach. Amy is a proud mother of 3 daughters and is fluent in Spanish. Welcome, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I am honored to be presenting with the Long Branch Public Library. It's also an honor to be part of this because I am part of the Long Branch community. So I am very excited to share this great opportunity for college students who are about to graduate, or college students who already have graduated, or any student who is in the process of right now of looking into a college, looking for a job right after college. So many opportunities here for you. So let's get started.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. So get hired. So a little bit about myself. I definitely would like to, I always like to bring a little personal touch within the presentation. I was born and raised in Long Branch. I speak Spanish. My mother is from the Dominican Republic, my father American. So I am very proud to say I'm half Latina, bien orgulloso de ser parte dominicana y ser Latina en nuestra comunidad de Long Branch. I want to say I am the first generation in my family to attend college. I went to Long Branch High School and I attended graduated in 2000. As a first generation to attend college, I really didn't have the support as easy. So a lot of what I had to do was rely within my community, within my reach, and also advocating for myself. So I went first to Brookdale Community College. I believe it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I was able to grow as a student as well. I then transferred to Stockton University, where I obtained my bachelor's degree in psychology. From there, I knew that I wanted to continue further with my education and to narrow down the career path that I knew that I wanted to do. I decided to go into school counseling because education and working with young students has always been a passion for me. I have been a school counselor now for the past 10 years. I have worked in several school districts. I have worked at the Academy for Urban Leadership Charter School in Perth Amboy. I also worked at Red Bank Regional High School, and I am currently right now a school counselor at the Middlesex County Vocational Technical School in Piscataway. For the past year now, I have volunteered my time as a mentor with Braven. Very proud to say that helping young adults, as in our appropriate topic today, helping college students to find a career path, finding a job, and linking them with the tools that they need. I am also in the process of obtaining my life coach certification, and I will have that completed in the next few months. My focus in that is to have my own business where I'm able to do this as a profession, helping students with their career and academic planning and social and emotional well-being as well. I am a proud mother of 3 daughters. I have twins, Serena and Rebecca. They are 11 years old, and a young lady, Gabriella, who's 9. All right, so preparation. I found this and I thought, you know what, this is a good quote to start with. Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. It is very important that when you're starting to plan your career plan, it's very important to start planning. What are your plans? Being able to have a plan in place will definitely prepare you for your career path. Getting ready to use the tools that you will need to navigate through your journey. Self-assessment. Identifying your values, your interests, and skills will help you with your job search. Although search assessment can be a time-consuming process, it will provide you with the valuable information and help you to facilitate career decisions and prepare you to market yourself as a potential employee. So by saying that is, what are your plans? You know, you spent 4 years in college now. You are now at the brink now, thinking of what you want to do now with your life. What do you see yourself doing? What are your values, your interests, and skills? And we're going to go over that to help you identify that career path that you have been planning for. An awareness of what you value in a career will help you when exploring career goals and help you to attain satisfaction in your work. Which values are important to you? So there are many important reasons why we're looking for a job. Salary, benefits, and pension, a professional status, job security, working conditions, schedules, working as part of a team, working independently, and also being able to work, mentally challenging, being able to have going into a career that you know that it's going to be challenging, but yet being able to learn how to work with challenging coworkers. So these are the skills, the values and interest skills that we're going to be going over throughout the power presentation. Interests are closely related to values and frequently trigger skills development. You can identify your interests by looking at enduring themes in your life, such as activities that you persist over time, consist of choices of the way you spend your time. A tip for discovering your interests is to keep a log of what you like to do and then rank them. For example, for me, I have always found myself wanting to work with young adults. I have started even at a young age working with college students. So my first year at Stockton University, I worked at the Career Center, helping students with their resume writing, their career choices. That was a key identifying me. You know what? This is something that I want to do. I want to continue further with this. So that value and that interest started to develop into a skill. A skill is something that you do well. Recognizing your skills and communicating their usefulness in writing or verbally to prospective employers will help you with your job search. So as I started to develop those skills and that interest, it became a skill. I became an expert in that area. And that has allowed me to definitely to further my career interest. So describing your skill, refer to actual experience that demonstrate your skill level, connect your skills. You need to understand that it's very important to identify your skills. This will definitely help you to market yourself even more. So here are some questions to identify yourself with self-assessment. What are your skills and interests?
Excuse
What
me.
are you? Yes, go ahead. I'm
Amy,
sorry.
forgive me for interrupting. Are you planning on showing your presentation, sharing your presentation, or?
That's up to you. Are we?
Oh, whenever you're ready, you are more than feel free to share your screen.
Oh, you can't see it?
No, I haven't been able to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I've been talking this whole time. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's why I just wanted to let you know that we are unable to see.
Okay, I'll go from the beginning. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought as soon as
You don't have to. You can just pick up where you left off. You're doing a great job. Just that we aren't able, the attendees were not able to see the screen.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make you
Okay.
aware of that.
Okay, let me just see again,
Okay.
because I thought you were able to.
No,
I think was when you took over the host that's what happened. I lost the
you should be able to share your screen.
okay. Yeah, and I thought, now can you see it now?
No,
Oh.
I can't. You know what? Bear with me 1 second.
Okay. Do you want to
And
stop the recording
I'm just going to I'm going to assign you as the host.
Okay.
And why don't you see if you can if you can share your screen now?
Yeah, I will do that. So sorry, I thought I was the whole time.
I wasn't sure if
Let me try now. Are you able to see it now?
yes. Yep, you're good.
Okay. Okay. So sorry about that.
Nope, that's okay.
All right. So I kind of went over quickly. It's important to understand your values and interests and skills to continue with what your career path will be.
Right.
Okay, so this is where I left off.
Yeah.
Self-assessment. What are your skills and interests? What are your strengths and qualifications? What are your short-term and long-term goals? What type of work environment would you prefer? What other work values are important to you? It's time to reflect on these important issues. You know, being able to answer these questions will definitely allow you to answer and help you to navigate what path, what skills, what areas you're going to be focusing on as you start finding out your career path. Employer, explore your career path. Exploring your career options. This step is the job search process. It will help you take the value, your skills, and interests that you assess and relate them to the demands of the work world. Personality and career guidance assessments are excellent tools for this search. Internships, corporate education positions, part-time jobs, part-time jobs in the summer, or volunteer opportunities are great ways to explore career options. And it's very important to notify that during your time in college, if you ever volunteered or had a job over the summer, these are great ways of being able to bring up on your resume or your cover letter or during an interview to share with prospective employers. Every experience that you have gained throughout your years in college is a great opportunity for you to share that with them. It's very important to understand that every skill that you have shared, you know, as I had said, my experience at Stockton University, I had many roles. I was a residential assistant. I was responsible for taking care of first generation students navigating the college campus. I had a job on campus working in the Career Center. I volunteered my time in the community, working within the Atlantic City, being able to work with young students as well as a mentor. So every one of these experiences that I had and I gained, I knew that these were great opportunities for me to further my college and my preparation for a career. Environmental scanning. To make informed choices, you also need to know what is going on around you, such as the labor market. You need to be aware of what job markets are out there, what jobs are in demand, what jobs are not many jobs are looking. Right now with COVID, this is a perfect time to reevaluate what jobs are out there right now. These are difficult times where many people have lost their jobs, but it has also been a turnover in certain other areas in the health field. So much demanding of the health field is a big booming area. So it's really important that you do your research, keep up to date with the news on what the trend is with the job market. I'm going to go over a career cluster interest. What is a career cluster interest survey? Everyone has a different way to describe themselves and what they like to do. This survey lets you rate activities you enjoy, your personal qualities, and school subjects you like. Then you can see which career clusters are a match for you. So here is the Minnesota CareerWise. This is a great opportunity for you to find out, you know, let's just say you are a psychology major. A psychology major is a very broad major. You can go into many fields. But as you start to begin to explore your career options, you want to start identifying what career interests you have. With the Minnesota CareerWise, this is a great assessment to use on yourself. It's a survey that will allow you to see what career clusters and interest survey you have. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Okay, great. I just wanted to ask.
No.
So with this career cluster, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. It's a personality test. It allows you to see the activities, your strength, your weakness, your area of interest. Based on this, it will give you a result with matching clusters. It will give you the areas of, based on, after you have completed the survey, what career path might be a match for you. So I do like to share this with people as they start exploring their career path. All right, another tool that's really important to find out is the career exploration. The U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics has the Occupational Outlook Handbook. I use this a lot with my students when I am having them look at what career path, what the benefits are, what the career that they're going into. So with the Occupational Handbook, it gives you a list of occupations that you might be looking into. So let's just say, for example, you are graduating and you want to go into the healthcare field. If you click on it, it will give you an example of what the requirements are, what the salary benefits are if you need to further your education. For some reason, it's not working, but here we go. So what I like about this is because it gives you a description of what the career is. It gives you the education requirements, what the current salary is.
Yeah.
So this is a great opportunity to look into that one.
That is a wonderful resource, actually, for anyone who is planning on, who want to explore careers, you know, what is expected of them, what type of education is required. So that is a wonderful tool.
Yes. All right. Strategies for your job search. Advertise job opportunity. The most common means of job searching is applying to advertise job openings. I have listed here the most popular search engines that people use to search for jobs. Indeed is the #1 that many employers will post their jobs. You're able to create, in many of these search engines, you're able to create an account, you're able to keep an up-to-date list of what career path you have. So Indeed, Glassdoor, Career Builder, Monster, Simply Hired, ZipRecruiter. Another one that is really good is Handshake. Handshake is where many institutions, many colleges and universities will provide a list for their students, a list of what current jobs are out there. So you're able to have be able to have first interaction with those jobs. You're able to be able to know what the job market is for that. The New Jersey Department of Labor is also another good website to look at. They're always up to date with what jobs are in the area, a lot of great benefits in those areas as well. LinkedIn is another website that you can look. We are going to go over a little bit on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is a great opportunity where jobs are posted, a lot of networking, and we'll go over that in a slide on that one. Another important thing to look at is to check your college or university career center. Reaching out to them. They have many great opportunities there. And of course, your local library as well has many information to help you with your navigating your job search. Goals and expectations. So there are jobs out there, but competition is keen for most of them. It does take an average for you to search for a job. It takes 4 to 6 months, especially if you're looking for that one job that you really are exploring. I can tell you that as the school counselor, it's very competitive. There are not many openings out there. So there are many jobs that may not have a lot of openings. How far are you willing to travel? How far do you have to move to another location to that job? So it's very important to have an open mindset that, when you're looking for a job, it does take time. If you can clearly picture that type of job that you want, you are more likely to be successful. If you know exactly what you want, you're narrowing down, you have the skills, you are prepared from the beginning, you will be able to find this job processing a lot smoother. And I can say that looking for a job is a job in itself. It's definitely true. It's very important to understand that it is a job. If you can remember when you're applying, when you were applying to college, that was the same thing. I always tell students, applying to college is like having a little part-time job, and a job, searching for a job, it's taking the time, the dedication, preparing yourself. The fact that you are here today is just a great time to get yourself organized. So desirable skills and qualities. Employers are looking for an employee to have these skills. These are very common skills that employers are looking at when they're looking at your resume or on your cover letter. Communication skills, strong work ethic, interpersonal skills, problem-solving skills. Is this employer able? Teamwork, analytical thinking skills, flexibility and adaptability. Sorry about that. And leadership skills, and are they detail oriented? These are important skills that you want to address on a resume. I also want to go on to several other skills that I believe that are important to include. Soft skills. Soft skills relate to how you work. Soft skills include interpersonal, how you interact with people, how you're communicating, your communication skills, your listening skills, your time management, empathy, among others. Hiring managers typically look for job candidates with soft skills because they make someone more successful in the workplace. Someone can be excellent with technical job-specific skills, but if they can't manage their time or work within a team, they may not be successful in the workplace. It's very important to understand that these soft skills are they're the center of what makes a person as an employee. Are you able to work with a team? If you're assigned a project, are you able to collaborate with them and decide on how you're going to share your ideas? Being able to be, accessible, being creative, your work ethic, dependability. Are you arriving to work on time? Do you have a history of being able to have all of these skills? Problem solving, conflict resolution, time management, and being positive, and the motivation. Hard skills. Hard skills are teachable abilities or skill sets that are easy to quantify. Typically, you'll learn hard skills in the classroom through books or other training materials or on the job. These hard skills are often listed in your cover letter or on your resume and are easy for employer or recruiter to recognize. Hard skills may include if you're proficient in a foreign language, a degree, so your college degree, or if you have a specialty in that, and you'll have a certificate. And even though most of us today, but if you're working, employers do like to see that you're proficient in a skill in typing or computer skills. These are skills that are very important, especially today with COVID, with so many of us having to work from home. This is a great opportunity to show off, hey, I've participated in workshops. I was able to navigate. These are important skills that employers want to know, because with many jobs going on today, many of these jobs are requiring technology skills that are second nature to us now. So these are part of the hard skills. If you know a language, I always tell my students, be proud of who you are. I speak Spanish. I am very proud of that. And it's very important to add those skills, that to show your job employers know that you have these skills, that you're able. How else are you able to communicate with others? How else are you able to branch out that company? Transferable skills. What are transferable skills? Transferable skills are skills you've learned and practiced over one setting that you can transfer or apply to a different setting in the future. For example, if you were a server at a restaurant, you would have practiced communicating with customers and juggling multiple tasks at one time. These are two transferable skills that are valuable in other jobs, such as teaching, selling, recruiting, or many more. My first job, I was a server, and I can tell you that I definitely learned how to use customer service. I had to learn how to multitask, being able to use those skills. And I was able to transfer those skills into the first job that I had as a profession after I had graduated from college. So it's very important to understand that these transferable skills, you can use these skills and adapt it to your new role. Many employers like to hire people who already have those skills, because they know that you are going to be someone who have the skills and you are able to carry that on into your job. If employers want to hire people who have these, it's a key. It will let the employer know that you already have these skills, as I say. You have familiar past experience that you're going to be able to bring this into the company. Networking. So networking is one of my favorite topics, because I believe that networking is what has led me and many other people to what jobs they have right now. Developing a contact network familiarizes yourself with professionals in your targeted field or organization. These professionals offer you an insider view and build you contact network. This contact network may open doors for you that may have otherwise been closed. Your network may also include friends and family, classmates, professors, and online discussion groups. Even what we're having right now, this is called networking. A big place right now that many people are using right now is LinkedIn. I am going to share you my LinkedIn. That way you can see how I have built my LinkedIn. I started having LinkedIn when I started searching for jobs as a school counselor. My network has grown tremendously. I have been able to help other people. That's how I actually found out what Braven was, and I was able to help those students that I've helped network with other students and work and network. As you can see here was what I was mentioning before with the job search. They do have a link there for jobs. It definitely gives you a list of what jobs are out there, and you can narrow it based on the careers that you're looking for. Great opportunity about networking is that you're able to feature things that you have done in the past. I have workshops in the past. This allows employers, as they start searching for your through LinkedIn, because many employers will look to see if you do have a LinkedIn page. What have they done? What skills are they able to have? I like to say that LinkedIn is kind of like your virtual resume, because it does list all of your experience. And you can see here my experience that I've had, my education, my certification, and then my volunteer. And as I was saying earlier, it's very important to highlight even your volunteer time, because it definitely shows an employer, that this person is motivated, that they are networking, that they do care about the profession. So great opportunity, definitely building that. Another nice thing about the LinkedIn is people can endorse you. People can leave comments and say how, they believe that this person is a very strong person, that they have the skills of what they're doing in their profession. So 3 questions for your network. As you start thinking about who your network is, as I said before, it could be a friend, it could be a professor, It could be someone that you talk to that you might have an interest in that same field. Do you know of anyone who might have an opening for a person with my skills? Or do you know of anyone else who might know of someone who would? Or do you know someone who knows lots of people? I am telling you, it's the key to finding that job is networking, because the network that you build today can be an opening for something down the road. Very important, very key aspect to have as you start searching for your job. All right, so now we get into the facts of resume and cover letter. Prepare. Once you have targeted your career goals, you should start to tailor your resume and cover letter to reflect your interests, values, and skills. Your resume and cover letter should reflect the needs of prospective employers. So that being said, as you start to apply to jobs, you want to let your audience are the employers, the people who you want for them to hire you. You want them to see your skills, your passion, your experience that you've had, and why you're applying to that job. Resume. So I found some useful information that targets college students with their resume. What is a college graduate resume? A college graduate resume is an entry-level resume that showcases the skills, experience, and education of a recent college graduate. Since most recent college grads lack professional job experience, these resumes prioritize your education, your internship, training, and transferable skills to show how potential of a job seeker. While it can be intimidating, seeking jobs that prefer experience in the field, know that all job candidates started their careers without experience. Keep that in mind. It's very important for you to understand that everyone had to start from the beginning or an entry level. So everyone had to learn how to build those experience sometime in their life. And that sometimes employers would prefer to hire trainable and eager job candidate over someone experienced ones. So employers may want to hire someone who does not have those experience, but they know that that person has those transferable skills, they have the motivation, they are goal-oriented, and they are willing to train you. I have seen so many employers during an interview that said, you know, you sound like a good person, we definitely want to hire you, you have the skills, are you willing to come aboard and get training? So these are just important things for you to keep in mind. Here are another good example of what a resume should look like and some examples of that. So I have here, to write a college graduate resume, here are the most important steps. Provide professional contact information. Use a resume summary. Use keywords to highlight education, experience, and skills. Emphasize your hobbies, interests, and publication and associations. So for example, when they mean by association, it's really important that you, once you graduate, that you build that networking. One of those networking for me, for example, when I went to go back to school for my master's degree, I went on and I got my, I joined my association, the New Jersey School Counseling Association. I did that while I was in my graduate school classes. That definitely gave me a path and experience to network even more. So it's important to join your organization. If you see that a career that you're looking into, many of these careers will have associations that you can join and gain those experience. If you did a publication, if you did a project and it was publicized, or a paper that you wrote, definitely show that off on your resume. So definitely these are just, it's important to highlight keywords to highlight into your education. This website that I found definitely through Indeed definitely gives you good examples of how to write a resume. There are so many people out there, so many websites out there to show you how to write a resume. It's very important that you get several people to look at your resume. There are professionals out there. Going to your college career center is definitely a key opportunity. But definitely when you start building that resume, you definitely want to have another pair of eyes to make sure that grammar and it's correct, and it's definitely reading to your audience, definitely reaching out to those people. One thing I would definitely avoid, and I've seen this in other resumes when college grads are looking for a job, is avoid mentioning high school. You definitely want to mention your most recent experience. Definitely the 4 years that you've gained in college is really important to highlight. Avoiding the experience of high school, that's something that employers may not want to hear. They want to see what's most current and what have you gained during your years in college. Emphasize your skills in education. Use action verbs. Here's an example of what a college graduate resume will look like. It's very important to highlight your contact information, a summary of what position you're applying for, your education, and then your job experience and your skills and interests and hobbies. The next one is your cover letter. A job search can quickly become a full-time job on its own. As a recent graduate looking for your next step, you might be tempted to attach your resume and click apply without bothering to send in a company cover letter. I can't tell you enough how many times I've heard people say, I just submitted my resume, and I'll say, well, did you also submit your cover letter? No, I mean, it was not necessary. It is very important to definitely include a cover letter. But taking the time to write one is worth the effort. This is the only place where you have free reign to explain why you're interested in that job and how exactly you're a good match. A compelling letter makes it much easier for the reader to think, yes, let's interview them. It's very important to have that cover letter. That cover letter is showing that employer why you're applying to that job. It is the opportunity for you to showcase your experience and why you want them to invite you for an interview. The basics of a cover letter boils down to this: an introductory paragraph, who you are, why this company and this job, and a bridge between the two. One or two theme paragraphs highlighting and showing you have skills that matches that job. A closing paragraph, some quickly highlights and a request to speak further. So at the end, you're saying, you know, if you'd like to, I would definitely like you to contact me for an interview. There's really important skills to have in these cover letters, is to definitely highlighting how much you want them to call you for an interview. All right, so how to prepare for a job interview. Do you have a job interview on your schedule? There are a number of steps you can take before and after the interview to ensure that you make a terrific impression on your potential employer. A study done by JDP reports that applicants spend up to 7 hours researching the company before their interview. Many candidates also research their interviewer because interviewing is often stressful. 70% of those surveyed practice that the response out loud, and 60% prepared to share their interview. So it's very important that you take the time to interview, that you prepare yourself for the interview. Here are some good links that will definitely to prepare you. Important questions that are asked. Analyze the job. So as it was saying, when you are called for an interview, it's very important that you do your research on that company. Go onto their website, find out what are their highlights, what are employers saying about that job, what are the key factors, what are their mission? If it's in education, what's the mission of that school? What's the mission of that company? What is it that makes them, what makes you want to go to them? So it's very important that you do your research. Make a match. Once you have listed the qualification of the job, it's really important that you continue to see, based on other interviews that you have, what worked and what didn't work, to practice. Practice interviewing. I will say I also practice interviewing. I get really shy speaking in front, especially when I know it's a job that I really want. Even practicing in front of a mirror, it is very important that you take the opportunity to practice out loud the questions. There are, on this link, it does provide you with like the best interview questions, the top questions that people will ask during an interview. Getting your clothes ready. I always say everything, how you prepare yourself, how you go into an interview is definitely will reflect how well prepared you went into preparing. Decide how you're gonna, what kind of clothing you're gonna wear. How are you gonna have your hair? These are just Small steps that can definitely keep you confident and prepare yourself for that job interview. And practice interview etiquette. Watch your body language, shaking hands, keeping eye contact as you articulate your points. Pay attention and be attentive and look interested. It's very important that you listen throughout an interview, because at the end of an interview, you will have many times the opportunity to ask questions. So definitely practice these skills and interview skills. Specific job search activities. Create a daily routine. So now we're at the point now where, as I said before, you have done a lot of research for the job. You're prepared to go into these interviews, or if you had interviews. I already said in the beginning, looking for a job is a job in itself. Keeping a timeline, keeping organized, keeping track of every job that you have applied to. For example, I used to keep a log of every job that I've applied to. I've kept track of interviews that I've had, how it went. So creating a daily routine of each day of the week, for example, who are your new contacts? Who are your new network? Can those networks help you to apply to another job? Find a time and day as to when you're looking for these jobs. Look for a time and day when you're practicing your job interview skills. Conduct an organized search, keeping track of your application, following up with your applications. If you had an interview, it's always important to say thank you, reaching out to that employer saying, thank you for inviting me for this interview, and following up with that thank you definitely shows that you have a strong interest in wanting to get hired. Evaluate your job activities. Be willing to change your job search tactics if something isn't working. Talk to successful job hunters and find out what techniques worked for them. And there are many people out there, professionals as well, career counselors. They're available at your college, at your career center. Contacting someone who is in the job field already that you're looking into. It's very important to understand the activities that you've done and listening to the advice that others are doing. What you're here today, gaining the skills and gaining the tools that you will need to search for your job. Take care of yourself. I cannot emphasize how important it is. So you will be, looking for a job is very stressful. Job searching can be demanding and frustrating. Make sure that you get support. Involve your family and friends in your job search. Inform them of your seriousness of this project and ask for their help and understanding. Remember your support group. Don't be afraid to seek them out. Don't take rejection personally. You will have that experience. Every one of us have been rejected for a job opportunity. Do not take it personally. That just means that one door closes, another one will open. You will hear that so many times. Focusing on the things that you can control, your attitude, your exercise, your daily routine, your exercise. Focus on your organization. Preparing yourself for the job will definitely prepare for you. Thank you. I don't know if we have time for a video, but I did have an inspirational video. I don't know if we do have time for that or not. Okay.
We absolutely have time, Amy, so feel free.
Okay. I definitely found this video that I came across that I thought was really empowering for myself, and I would like to share it with you. Sorry about that. There we go. Try again. Having a little bit technical here. Do apologize for that.
No worries.
Sorry about that. Guess it's just not working.
Okay. Or maybe you can copy the link in the
Yeah,
chat.
I could. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be ending now. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So there, I do have the link there.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. And so this is a good opportunity for any questions, or definitely I want to say thank you. Sorry for the technical issues.
No, that's quite all right. As a matter of fact, Amy, I want to thank you for a very informative
Yeah.
presentation. I believe we can benefit immediately from the strategies that you mentioned here today. And I want to turn it over to our attendees. Now would be a good time to ask any questions, if you have any, for our presenter. Any questions? Tess, not sure if you would like to ask Amy if you have any questions for Amy. You may want to unmute your microphone if you'd like. If not, I think that pretty much concludes our presentation for today. Again, Amy, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your time with us.
Thank you.
We look forward to sharing this video with those
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And here are my contact information. Oh, hi.
Hi, thank you so much. That was a great presentation. I learned from that.
Thank you. And here's my contact on my LinkedIn and my email address.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Amy. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, good. So that's
okay.
I'll just stop.
Wait. Okay, Amy, I stopped recording, I think.
Oh, it's still recording. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still recording. It's okay.
Okay. Well, we can always edit this. Thank you again, Amy. Really appreciate it. You did a wonderful job. Very
Thank you.
really wonderful resources that you were able to share, and I really do appreciate it. Again, we'll be putting this up on our social media. If you would like a copy of the recording, I'll be more than happy to send it to you. All right. All right, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful rest of the afternoon, and we'll be in touch. Take care.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Tess. Bye.
Bye-bye.